times I have been less awake. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired.
You have arrived, says the GPS, for you have forgotten how to get here. But your heart is familiar with this place you once called home. Heart pounding, threatening to come out of your chest, you stir up the courage to enter. You sit in the church pew looking from the outside in, as if this was an experience you could not partake in, specifically chosen for a select few. You regret having entered. This pew of sinking sand keeps you down as everything around shifts and becomes an interrogation room. You sit across from yourself and present yourself with evidence of your sin, the clues you thought you disposed of, the fingerprints left behind of the sins you touched, caressed, and handled. Your flaws exposed for all to see. Your eyes scan from corner to corner. Your guilt-cuffed hands remain low, resting on your bouncing knees, exhaling silent screams like a thunderstorm that no one hears, feeling undeserving, unworthy to be called his son, as shame rushes in like a frigid winter morning after the fall, your spirit mourning as death begins to make a home inside of you. You glance to the young man on your left. His stance is of worship, posture firm, yet you do not realize the contrasting powers fighting inside. A spiritual tug of war, seduced to the left but called to its right. He is a victim of theft, identity robbed, hope stolen, freedom ripped from him. But you wouldn't know, for he is admired by many, yet he adjusts his mask that covers the face of an exhausted fighter, whose gloves cover bruised hands from the ropes he clings to now even tighter. Yet his lips quiver to the song, his eyes shut in meditation, hoping and expectation that today is the day of his liberation. But he does not dare lift his dirty hands. He does not dare open his lust-filled eyes, so he does not sin in the church, craving that which he was not created to. Some would even call him an abomination. He stands tall, hoping his height will catch the attention of his savior. Yet he feels like a traitor, listening to the words coming from the pastor, his father. He wishes he could have the resilience he sees on the pulpit. Instead, he feels like a culprit, guilty, worthy of condemnation. Yet he knows the truth is, if there is anywhere he should be, it is here, and he is not the only one. You look to the young lady in the first row, her smile of strength, her hair of glory, her wardrobe of confidence, her feet dancing in the presence of her father, spinning on the wheel of the potter. Her wounds have healed to scars, creating markings that tell a story of redemption. Pages filled with ink of blood, painful to read, for her war began as a child, innocent, snatched, awakened prematurely to a world she was not ready for. Hallways with open doors invited her inside to further trap her. Promiscuity, her friend, clothed her. Her scent of seduction caused many Samsons to rest on her lap, where locks of blessings were cut, where guilt kept her lips sealed, shame kept her eyes closed, her tears fought their way out. Yet you see her there, and her heart has been shattered, and the pieces have penetrated her skin. Emotions have been beaten, abused, and mistreated. Flashbacks to that night where wrists were bleeding, barely breathing, heart merely beating.
Ashley! Ashley, open up! I know you're in there! Don't do it! Don't do it! No! 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 Why? Why, God? God, why this happened? Wait! She's still alive! She didn't die! Somebody get help! Somebody!
But God used worship to save her life. Like a modern-day Mary Magdalene, she desperately broke down the door of religion, presented herself unannounced, undignified. She fell to her knees, her tears pushing the filth off of the Master's feet. With all she had left, she laid her glory down, her past no longer existing, for she now has a new name. Beautifully broken, she worships the one who set her free. Yet you wouldn't know this from just observing her from your seat. So I ask you, what is refraining, denying, preventing, suppressing you from experiencing community? We are not museum exhibits portraying perfection, but broken vessels in the hands of a perfect maker. For everyone here has a story that you cannot even imagine, like the man in the back who longs to rise in worship, yet paralyzed, his body keeps him disabled. Or the woman in the middle who discovered her husband of 15 years was unfaithful. Or the child in the front whose only hour of peace is found in this place, for his home is a war ground and his life is at stake. And the countless lives who run to this place of refuge. This sanctuary's more than just a simple venue. This is not for the perfect, but for those who need, for those who lack, for the addict, the drinker, the adulterer, the liar, the thief, the rich, the poor, the weak, the strong, the old, the young, for all who seek, for all who breathe. So do not allow this idea to intimidate you. Do not permit the lie that it is not necessary to infiltrate you. For you come here for one person and one person only. His name is Jesus, and he says you are not alone.